It came from. It came from.
Yes, it came from. This is the part of the show where we search all over the internet to bring you topics that you, the community, the human factors community, the user experience community, the design community, the psychology community, any community, as long as it's human factors tangential, is talking about. So we got two tonight. I think we're going to go ahead and get into this first one. I really like this question. This one is thoughts on working at a design or human factors agency versus a product-based or in-house company. And this is from Gupta98 on the user experience subreddit. They go on to write, would you rather work for companies like IDEO, which are mainly agencies for, which are mainly agencies, or companies like Netflix, Apple, or Spotify? Can you please list some pros and cons of each? Or are you, or if you are working at any, how do you like it? Blake, have you worked for an agency? Have you worked for a tech company like this? And what's kind of the difference?
Yeah, so I haven't worked specifically for one of these kind of like FANG companies or anything like that, but I have had the experience of working in an agency style model and being focused on a singular product like something like Netflix or Apple. Honestly, this might not be everybody's favorite answer, but I love both. I think both have massive benefits and can teach you a lot regardless of what you're doing. So from the focal product aspect, you get immensely familiar with your user base, the product itself, and you can really optimize something through human factors work or user experience research and design work. So you have a lot of opportunity to have a high impact on like a singular product that you're focused on. I think from the agency perspective, it's nice to get a lot of variety and get a giant set of touch points. So for agency work, you could be doing anything from responsive web design to like application design to even working on physical products. So, and I think that has massive benefit, especially early in your career. If you haven't had a lot of experience with a diverse set of products, and it can really tell you like, do I want to go spend most of my career life in digital products, or do I really like to do physical product design? So I think both provide very different experiences that allow you to kind of hone skills. But I think if you can, try both of them so that you can really get a gamut of what it's like to work in both settings. But Nick, have you had experience in both these realms?
Damn it, Blake, would you say it depends?
Maybe.
I need the it depends button. I promise one of these days I'm going to get a Staples button. And I've worked for both, and I think I'm going to agree with you, Blake. I think it does depend. I didn't know how I was going to answer this question until I was faced with it just now. Each of them have their pros and cons, and I think we can go over those pros and cons. So I think let's start with just an in-house or product-based company, like your Netflix, like your Spotify. I think in this example, you are heavily invested in one specific product, and you are making adjustments at the micro level. Like we talked about these macro and micro adjustments in our news story tonight. And I think that was a great kind of primer for this, because I think of this as a way to improve marginally upon a product, but have a large impact. So what I'm talking about here is there's always going to be ways to improve a product. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen that graphic of like what education is like, where you have kind of the expanding circle where you have like, hey, here's your general education, here's your specialty, and then here's your PhD, and it looks like a little bump off to the side, and that bump keeps extending as you learn more in your domain. And that's kind of what I'm thinking of when it comes to this. Like, there's so much blanket user experience, blanket human factors principles that you can apply towards a product. But once you get to that point, there's going to be room for improvements, but they're marginal. But you dig deeper into that one product to make it better over time. That's why some of these products that have these in-house teams feel so polished, is because they've been working on it for a long time. They've tested different things with just this one product. Now, take the other approach where you're at an agency. You are usually on contract for something, and so you don't have the history with the product that you might have for an in-house agency, or sorry, an in-house company. If you are with one of these design agencies or design company, human factors company, you're going to be doing, like Blake said, a variety of different work, and that can also benefit you. When it comes to working and problem solving on some of these solutions, right? You might encounter a problem on one project that has a solution from another project, and having those connections of neurons in your brain that go, oh, this is a great solution from this other thing that we can apply to this, is really useful. But I also feel like that's a trap in a lot of ways, because then you are so not necessarily pressed for time, but the solutions that you make towards the solution on one thing might not necessarily benefit when you're just taking a plug and play thing from another project. I think it does largely depend, and you do get the breadth with a design or human factors agency, but you get the depth with a product or an in-house company. So if you're very passionate about a specific product, I think that could be right for you. If you are still experimenting and figuring out what is right for you, I think the design agency or human factors company is probably the right way to go. Or if you just enjoy a variety of different things and don't really want to settle, I know that's, an attractive quality for some people. And so that might be a better fit for a human factors company. That's kind of where I'm at. Anything else to add to that one, Blake?
No, that was perfect, man. Really brought it home and kind of made some specific points there.
Thanks, man. I try.